Hi, I'm Gigliana Melzi, Associate Professor of Applied Psychology at New York University. My research focuses on Latina children's early development, examining the multiple ways that families, in particular Spanish-speaking immigrant families, support children's early language and math learning during the preschool years. What do you see? Is this glass half empty or half full? This image is often used to uncover your outlook in life. But today, I will use it to illustrate how the discipline views and talks about a large portion of U.S. children, those from culturally, racially, and linguistically diverse communities such as Latina children. The science that informs our educational practices and policy decisions views young Latina children and their families from a half-empty glass perspective. We focus on the empty space, on the skills children lack, the activities that parents don't do. We compare children's skill sets and family practices to standards developed from years of descriptive research with white English-speaking families. We rely on methods and measures informed by this research. We then design interventions to fill the empty space, disregarding what is already present. This approach not only reflects, but also perpetuates social and racial inequities. To build an equitable science, we need to shift our attention to the filled space of that glass, identifying children and families' assets. My research relies on this approach. In my latest work, for example, I examined the everyday math experiences of young bilingual Latina children in low-income communities. I studied family math talk. We know that family math talk supports the development of math concepts and vocabulary, key skills for future math learning. But most importantly, family math is also cultural, as it is embedded within culturally informed parenting practices and socialization goals. In our work, we deviated from traditional methods examining parent-child interactions during play. Rather than impose a white academic lens, we created a teaching task that reflected the everyday family experiences of Latina preschoolers and also respected the hierarchical nature of parent-child relationships in Latina families. Using this method, we found that math talk was frequent, especially talk about spatial relations, numbers, and quantities. With knowledge generated from research such as this one, which asks what is present, we can then design educational and intervention programs that build from cultural assets, using family practices as points of leverage to help young children reach their potential. So how can you help? I can think of two ways. First, partner with researchers whose work with culturally and linguistically diverse families and children broadens our understanding of what is normative. We need more descriptive work with families from culturally and linguistically diverse communities. We also need new tools and methods that reflect accurately the skills culturally and linguistically diverse children have and bring from home to school. Second, support the development of an educational curriculum that reflects children's cultural heritage and everyday experiences, and help develop a teaching workforce who is prepared to offer quality education to children from culturally and linguistically diverse communities. We need to transform the science and the system rather than change the children and the families. Together, we can disrupt the power hierarchies inherent in our research practices to build an inclusive science and transform our educational efforts.